Good morning, students. Today I welcome you all to yet another interesting session of the third level. And I hope the previous session was interesting and you understood the basics of it. I don't expect you to understand the whole thing, since I know there are a lot of technicalities in this chapter, and people who are not interested in literature and the creativity and the fantasy world would not be able to connect it. But as I keep telling my students, there's always a different way of projecting things, and there are some authors who are a little different, out of track, and who know how to take the attention of the audience and how to grab the attention of the readers. So Jack Finney is one of them. Before I move on to Jack Finney, I would like to tell you all that I remember that in class 11th I was teaching you one chapter about this Gangadhar Pant, if you remember. Do you remember which chapter it was? It was the adventure. So then this gentleman Gangadhar Pant also travelled into a different world of illusion. He was also working, or you can see he was also into a parallel world simultaneously and thinking about the past. So now can you connect the two? I hope you can. So thereon, when we proceed with the slides, when we proceed with the learning objectives about the author, the way we do it, I hope you will be able to understand better. And as I always repeat, to please maintain your notes well, and also to write down the summary and your characters, everything in your notebook. I don't have to repeat that again, I hope. So technically we begin with the third level, written by Jack Finney, as we have discussed before also. The learning outcomes would be the students will be able to analyze Jack Finney's word choices. They would be able to analyze the text structure of the third level. The students would be able to understand the figment of Charlie's imagination, Charlie being the central character of the story. The students will be able to comprehend people's refuge from reality. Now students, we have this gentleman, Mr. Finney, and I think with yesterday's session, you know a lot about him. But let's see the technicalities of this character. Jack Finney, whose name was Walter Braden Finney, was born in 1911 and he died in 1995. He was an American author. After his father's death, Mr. Finney was 3 years old then. He was renamed Walter Braden Finney in honor of his father, but continued to be known as Jack. Walter Braden Jack Finney was an American writer, mainly known for his contributions to the science. He wrote science fictions, and his genre and his speciality was that only. His most popular novels are The Body Snatchers, that he wrote in 1955, and Time and Again 1970. Although throughout his career he published nearly 50 novels that encompass the noir, thriller and comedy genres. Finney's novel The Body Snatchers had since been adapted into films and movies. Moving on to the characters, we have Charlie, who is the protagonist, the central character of the story. Then we have Sam, who was his psychiatrist friend, followed by his wife Louisa. You guys just saw the learning outcomes and about the author. So quickly just telling you about Mr. Jack Finney. His name was Walter Brandon Finney. He was born in 1911 and he died in 1995 in California, that is US. And he was married to Margaret, and he had 2 children that I think I've not mentioned before. Not only that, he used to write the articles and everything, and he got publicity after he wrote these 2 novels. One was this The Body Snatchers and second is Time and Again. Not only that, The Body Snatchers was converted. Body Snatchers were into films 4 times. So then he was very popular and he wrote 50 novels all in all. And all of them had thrill, suspense, and a lot of, he knew the art of engrossing the readers. And he specialized in science fiction. His genre was science fiction. Now you all just saw the characters, that is Sam, Louisa and Charlie. Charlie being the central character of the story that we have got to know. He's the protagonist of the story, and before I get to anything else, I need to tell you, he also had a hobby, and his hobby was collecting stamps. I'm sure you guys know what is it called. A person who collects stamps, or the practice of collecting stamps, is known as philately. So he was collecting stamps. We have the background of the story, wherein, let's see what it has. The past is a good place to visit, but certainly not a good place to stay. The Third Level by Jack Finney is an enthralling story set in 1950s. The story is peppered with numerous undertones of irony. It takes you back in the time. It was a world when people hadn't seen two of the goriest wars in the history of mankind. The story fetches to light the fact that fabrications of someone's imagination can be used for shying away from realism, which in all fairness is harsh enough. So let's proceed. Overview. The Third Level expresses the story of a 31-year-old guy named Charlie. One fine evening, while woozing home, he chooses to take the subway from the Grand Central Station in New York City. He ends up finding himself on the third level of the Grand Central Station. There, Charlie spots spittoons lying on the floor. He notices that people are wearing derby hats and gold watches, which they kept in their vest pockets. He also sees a courier and elf's locomotive. Realizing that he's gone back in time, Charlie tries to buy tickets to Galesburg. During the lunch hour, the next afternoon, Charlie extracts all his saving, nearly $500 to buy old-style currency notes. Charlie describes his incident to Sam, his friend who works as a psychiatrist. Sam concludes that Third Level is nothing but a mere fabrication of Charlie's imagination. The desolations that the modern world has is full of war, worry, and terror, made Charlie hallucinate about the existence of the Third Level. Charlie gets ahead in discovering an evidence related to the Third Level's existence. He discovers a letter addressed to him by his psychiatrist friend Sam. The letter was dated July 18, 1894. It seemed that Sam wasn't as incredulous of the Third Level as he had appeared to be. Sam reached the Third Level and wrote a letter to Charlie giving him details about that place. So, this was your story. Moving on to the central character, the protagonist. Charlie, a 31-year-old guy who wore a tan gabardine suit, is an ordinary guy with a family. Peace and serenity happen to be the two things he wants rather desperately. He decides to stay back in the year 1894, reiterates his desire to live a peaceful and joyous life with his wife. The verdict, what's the main thing? The story clearly explores the concept of time travel. Jack Finney explores the mentality of a common man. He succeeds in revealing the susceptible side of a common man. A myriad of problems conspired to corrupt Charlie's mind. It further robbed him of his senses and his panic-induced state. He'd be delirious about the Third Level at the Grand Central Station. Even though it was tough for Charlie to trust his eyes, he decided to stay there in the year 1894. What stands out in the entire story is the extent of ease with which Jack Finney was able to bring out a common man's longing for harmony and security. Like any common man, Charlie too prized the so-called pleasures of everyday life and the security of the familiar. He wanted to stay in the past because 1894 was much more peaceful, secure, and serene. The world in 1894 hadn't seen the repercussions of war. The anxieties that came with war, terror, and disease had gotten the better of common folks like Charlie, who sought after fleeting relief from the harsh realisms of life. All, the third level transports us to the conclusion that people find it firm to make peace with spiteful things they come across in life. The story further makes the reader realize that the past and future are real illusions. They exist in the present, which is all there is. Which was his temporary hideaway from the problems and anxieties of life. So Charlie, whenever he was upset, he used to collect stamps and he used to be happy about it because for him it was his hideaway from the world. So therein we see this protagonist. The story starts in a very serious manner. The story starts wherein the person says that there are two levels of the Grand Central Station, and this man comes in, that is Mr. Charlie, who was like oozing from his office. He was in a hurry to go home, and while he did that, he went to Grand Central Station. When he went there, obviously there are two levels, there are two levels of the station. So while he went to the second level, he saw a staircase followed by a tunnel, and he took that way, which made him land on the third level, which did not exist. So the story interweaves fantasy and reality in the most futuristic projection of the travel time. So as I was telling you, Charlie, who started walking for the Grand Central from the Vanderbilt Avenue, comes in and he lands on the third level. So when he lands on the third level, it was all very weird and different. People had very peculiar dressing sense. They were all wearing gabardine suits, and they were all, were having mustaches, and he has not seen such kind of heavy mustaches and beard for a long time. Whereas they were all spittoons all over, and the lights were flickering. After all that he noticed, he also saw that there were two ticket windows, and the rooms were all very antiquated and small in size. So as I was telling you, that place was architecturally very, very different. And when this person, that is Charlie, went there, he was like amazed to see people in their outmoded outfits, in the old style of mustache and beard. But then he went to the ticket window because he wanted to fetch two tickets for Illinois. He always wanted to take Louisa to that place, as that place was very laid back and there was no hurry, and there were people who were like relaxing, and the life was very simple and easygoing. So then he thought of taking his wife there and living over there. So when he went to the ticket window, he asked for two tickets, but he was denied because the currency that he had was the new modern currency, and the time that he was in his 18th century. The time was not in the 19th century. Now he has gone back to 1894, which has not seen the goriest of war. Please understand the plot here. That century, that is the 18th century, had not seen the goriest of war, and this person wanted to be there only in the past because that was very safe, secure, and he wanted to take a temporary refuge. It was his hideaway from the anxieties of his life. So then he decided to go back. So next day he went to exchange the older currency. Meanwhile, he exchanged $300, but he got lesser amount because he had to pay the premium as well. He did not mind that because he knew that he is in the 18th century and everything in Galesburg, Illinois will be cheaper than what it is here. Guys, I'm going to take you to the station scene wherein Charlie was dumbstruck to see the surrounding. He was awestruck to see the archaic architecture and the worn out dressing sense of the people. So he wanted to confirm which century or which period is it. He went and saw a newspaper. The name of the newspaper was The World, and the date written over it was 1894. That's when he realized that he has gone back to the 18th century. The period which was more happy and peaceful, where people were easygoing and they had very few expectations from life. So the next day he has already exchanged his currency. He comes back and tells the entire episode to his wife. His wife was perturbed. When she heard that her husband landed up in a third level which doesn't even exist, she advised him to go and meet Sam, who was his psychiatrist friend. So Charlie decides to go and narrate the whole episode to Sam Wiener. Sam told that he was in a phase of waking dream wish fulfillment. So that's when a person is unhappy with life, or maybe he is hassled with the insecurities, war, and you have to constantly, strive for things, you have to constantly run after things. So when you're tired of running relentlessly after things, that's when you land up in a world which is giving you pleasure. A world which doesn't have any sort of problems and anxieties or issues around. After a couple of days, Sam Wiener went missing. Charlie was perturbed and worried. What exactly happened to Sam? So he started inquiring about him to various people, and there he got to know that last week Sam had exchanged $800 from the older currency and got it. So now his doubt was shaping up into a different thing. One day, while fidgeting with his stamp collection, as I've told you, Charlie was also into philately. So then he got a letter which was not there previously, and this letter, the date over that was written 1894. This letter was sent to Galesburg to Charlie's grandfather, and when he opened the letter, this letter was from Sam Wiener. And he writes that I've already reached the third level. I'm hale and hearty here. I have no issues at all. And I could not practice medicine and my field, obviously. So hence I have started my own business. For that I have changed the currency and stuff. And you also keep looking for third level. Don't stop your quest for it. I am sure one day you will also get it. Please do come here and we'll meet again. This story gives us a perfect glimpse of a modern man's hideaway from his never-ending problems. When life is rocky and precarious, run away from it. But I would also like to tell you all, we all need to learn to handle our situations and circumstances. Unlike Charlie, who was into philately, and not only that, he went into a different time zone just because he was not happy with his present life. Just because that aura was more peaceful, that aura had not seen the goriest of wars, and hence it had more serenity and tranquility. So here I would like to tell you all, indirectly I want to give you a message as well. When life is tough, then at that point of time you need to get involved in activities like meet your family and friends, go on for excursion trips, do meditation, and practice some hobbies that give you a lot of happiness and pleasure. Not only that, read good books which give you good insight, and they're just like best friends. And yes, stay rooted to the basic qualities of humanity, because children have always believed that tough times pass and tough people survive. It all lies in your head. The mental strength that an individual has always helps him to come out of any precarious and rocky situations in life. With this, I conclude the session of mine. I'll meet you again tomorrow with a different session that is obviously the same chapter, but I'll come back with the detailed explanation of it. Thank you and be safe.